Shalom, my bitches. My Andis here at NFY, bringing you more of every HFY story ever. So, let's begin. Admiral Goad looked up to the slow-spinning spirals of the Milky Way map displayed before him. It was painted a rainbow of colors, which fell into two broad categories. Blue, humanity. Everything else, everyone else. Slowly but surely, the blue had gradually overtaken the rainbow. They were wiping out at least one ancient cosmic horror every week, and even more were surrendering. Those that did were locked into the Great Vaults, planetary prisons dedicated to keeping them sealed forever. And upon the surface of the Great Vaults, messages to serve as warnings were etched in letters hundreds of miles wide with orbital weapons. Messages that would inform other would-be Cthulhus to never, ever fight against humanity. Messages such as Big Fart Town or Gay Baby Jail. By Goad's own estimation, the war would be won within the year. Some men had already begun celebrating early, but the fires were usually kept under control. An alarm sounded, and Goad calmly gripped the rail as air whooshed through the room, interrupted by a sudden heavy hiss as the airlock slammed shut. Goad looked over his shoulder to one of the technicians. "Sally, what just happened?" She looked up.
That was Private Johnson. He just spaced himself. Wanted to, quote, beat up the universe."
Goad looked out the window, and sure enough, there was a human in nothing but his boxers and boots, wildly flailing at the void with punches and kicks. Goad took out his corncob pipe, pointing it at the Marine outside. "Now that shows initiative. Give that man a promotion." Johnson threw a right hook towards the general direction of the star, which erupted into a supernova. He then took a knife from his boot, bringing it upwards and stabbing at the blackness. His blade sunk halfway, and he brought it out of the newly created cosmic injury to cut again. He continued to stab in every direction, and before long, he was surrounded by space wounds. "2 promotions," Goad stated. A soft ding rang out from the galaxy map, indicating the Admiral was receiving a call. "Now who's this from?" he asked.
Sally shook her head. "Computer can't parse it, sir."
"Put it through anyway," he said, calmly putting his pipe in backwards. A holographic screen appeared in front of the galaxy map, displaying the Undying one of the more stubborn entities humanity was fighting. Though its true form was incomprehensible, it appeared to mortals as a deformed alien skull with bright red eyes, writhing in a mass of black tentacles.
"Mortal,"
the foul deity roared.
"Your end is at hand."
"No," Goad replied. The monstrosity said nothing for a moment, and then let out a horrific sigh.
"Can we just call this whole thing off?"
"Oh no," Goad said. "What's in it for us?"
"I don't destroy your species."
The Admiral frowned. "Couldn't throw in a free cookie in there, or—"
"Look,"
the Undying One snapped.
"I figured out a way to stop you, but I don't want to do it because of possible ramifications. Just go back to Earth and eat potato chips or whatever you humans like to do."
"And if we don't?"
"You destroy reality,"
the evil cried, motioning to Johnson outside. The soldier had set a dozen more stars supernova, and was in the process of beating another to death with one of his boots.
"I mean, come on,"
the thing said.
"Do you really think the universe can take much more of that?"
Goad shrugged. "Not my department." The Undying One narrowed its glowing eyes.
"Fine. You made me do this."
One of its tentacles slithered upward, revealing a device with a large red button. pressing it with no ceremony. Goad expected a galaxy-shattering explosion, but nothing happened. He chuckled at the device's apparent failure. "Failed engineering school, huh?" he asked. The Undying One's rotted jaw grinned.
Wait for it.
"Sir," Sally shouted, "we've got a problem."
Goad spun around, running towards Sally's console.
You see,
the Undying One explained.
I thought I could destroy humanity with bioweapons or mind control, but none of that worked. I wasn't thinking broad enough.
Goad was now standing over Sally's shoulder, gazing at footage from around the galaxy. Their cruisers were falling out of the sky, defaced with graffiti skulls. Luna was under attack. Lasers crisscrossed its surface, carving it into the shape of a butt. All communications channels were hijacked to play a Vietnam War protest song on a loop. The Undying One continued.
The only thing that can stop humans are
other humans, Goad breathed.
From all alternate histories and realities. Mongolians, Vikings, Aztecs, Crusaders, Americans, Neo-Cybertechs. I'll admit, you people are scrappy.
Goad looked back to the screen. Earth had fallen to the Texans, and Mars to the Brazilians. Alpha Centauri had been conquered by the transhumans, and the Germans were whooping it up on Venice. Looking outside, he saw Johnson fighting a losing battle against 5 exact clones of himself. The alternate Johnsons all wearing a slightly different sombrero. Goad turned back towards the holoscreen and pointed. "You can take Earth, but this station will never fall."
I thought you might say something like that,
the Undying One said.
So, I searched all the realities to find the most warlike, violent civilization your species has ever known. One that even you will fear.
There was a loud bang behind them, and Goad looked to see the main door was being breached. A line of sparks slowly outlining the heavy steel entrance. The Admiral drew his firearm, pointing it towards the door. "Who? France?" he asked sarcastically. The Undying One shook its empty skull.
No, double France.
The sparks ceased, and the door blew open. Goad squeezed the trigger in vain. The baguettes were already upon him. Alright guys, well, I hope you enjoyed that. Please leave a like if you did, comment about anything that you feel needed commenting, and please subscribe if you would like to be notified of other stuff that I'm doing. Anyways, have a nice one, y'alls.